Mad Squad, what's howling? It's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. Yes, this is a rather different type of video that you would expect from me. I usually don't do comic book reviews, but I do love comic books, and a team called Nerdonatics has reached out to me and asked me if I would like to review some of the comics that they have on their site on my channel. I was like, really? Absolutely. So they've given me some digital copies of some comics on their site for me to read and review to you guys. I do have to admit, when I did receive these comics, I was kind of skeptical because the only comics I really read are like superhero comics like Marvel or DC. But I was like, you know what? It would be cool to branch out and do other things, read other stuff outside of Marvel and DC and the whole superhero genre. And this comic I'll be reviewing still has that hero's journey type feel to it. The comic I'll be reviewing in this video is part 1 of 4 of a miniseries called Gray Coyote. This is a comic book western in black and white inking featuring a female Native American protagonist, which I found to be pretty cool because I don't read much comic book westerns, but I do know that they usually feature like a male cowboy, so I thought this was a cool take on that. The story is written by Travis Alexander, and all the art is done by Jethro Morales and Abe, and the lettering is done by Kuen Tang. So I'm not going to go through this entire comic page by page because I don't want to spoil everything for you in case you decide to pick up this issue yourself. I'm just going to give you a brief general overall review. Through a certain event, our female protagonist finds herself in the town of Dreadford, where we learn there is a villainous foe called Deadeye Jack running things his way. By choice, our female protagonist makes it her duty to protect the town from Deadeye Jack and his men bringing all the stores to ruin. I'm not going to spoil the end, again, just in case you guys want to pick this comic up from the site and read it yourself. But near the end, we do get an actual look at Deadeye Jack to see what he actually looks like. And as far as we know, from at least part 1, we know that he just has his men do the work for him. I won't say what happens at the end, but for me, the ending was the best part and made me want to continue reading on of what is supposed to be a 4-part miniseries. I would say it's a rather basic comic compared to what I'm used to, but when I started reading the second half and learning more about what Deadeye Jack was doing in the town, that's what drew me into the story, and then the ending really made me want to know what happens next. I know some people aren't a big fan of black and white inking, but for me that's not a problem with this particular comic because the visuals, the amazing visuals, really stand out and are eye-popping, and for me completely make up for there being no other colors present. As a fairly new reader of comic books, I've only been to comics for, I guess, about a year and a half now, and I've only really read Marvel and DC comics. This was a very refreshing, very interesting comic book for me to read. It was very great, very enjoyable, and I'm ready and excited for part 2. The team that gave me this issue is called Nerdonatics. They're a new comic book team, and their official website launched at the beginning of this year, 2018. So in the description box, I'm going to leave you guys a link for their official website and any of their social medias that I have. And the link to their website will also be at the top of the comment section. It'll be a pinned comment. Just to give you all a little info on what Nerdonatics is, it is a new home for comics and manga. Thousands of creators worldwide are always creating new stories that will be available on the site. And the first issue is always free from the Nerdonatics team. The site has an official online store as well, where you can purchase individual physical copies of comics and t-shirts featuring art from many of the featured comics. You can also take a look at some of the comics coming soon, the top 10, and some of the free first issues. That's just a brief overlook of the site, but you can still always check it out on your own by clicking the link down below in the description box and at the pinned comment. If you enjoyed this comic review, let me know what you thought. Links to all my social media will be down below in the description box. Smash that like button. Share this video to anyone you feel enjoy. If you are new around here and you like what you see, tap the subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell to join the Mad Squad on our journey to 10,000 subscribers. My name's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. I hope you all have a marvelous day. Mad out. Mad. Strong. Together.